Okay, well, Komombo. Uh, Komombo is mostly related to dark and light. Even you can see the two gates, it's like this shape of a T, like the ceiling, the upper part and the main column. And this is a pattern that we will continuously see in Egypt, like it's the two doors. This was also another very present form of initiation, like choosing one door, and that at some point got distorted, and that's why the thymus stopped fully igniting, because it's like when you ask someone, what do you choose, this or that? And most people will tell you, I choose, for instance, what do you choose, black or white? And maybe most people will tell you one of them, like black, no, white. But a magician can and will tell you it's most likely that will answer to you both, or something unexpected. Why? Because it's unifying. It's considering, the magician considers himself or herself the creator, the creation. So everything is possible. Don't give me this or that if I can have everything. And that's the power of the heart. Contrary to what it would be believed, that it's ego and, just being narcissist or whatever, it's the highest form of humbleness, because you know what you're capable to do, and that comes from the heart. So that's the whole story. That's the whole story of the initiation. And that's what these guardians, or more than guardians, these masters, like for instance, Sobek's consciousness. Sobek is the name of the crocodile, the Neteru crocodile. The Neter crocodile. That there is no good and no bad. There is energy. That's what it is. Different forms and a spectrum of light, of the energy wholeness. What you perceive is what you will generate as an effect of that cause. So to master the wholeness is to be the heart. So these places and the frequency of these places are really calling for the love within you, for only love will be able to conquer wholeness. And a lot of capabilities would unfold from these initiations, because this is where you get to connect with this deep vulnerability within, that it frees you. It frees you. And when you are free, then you are lighter to generate whatever you want to generate. And by lighter, I mean you're in more coherence. You're without attachments. You just are. And that's a full coherence. And even that in physics translates as the capability of enabling all potential energy into whatever you choose as a kinetic energy. So, yeah. And the crocodile, actually, it's a very loving nature. I had the opportunity once to connect with one, because they pet them in Aswan. We will be going to Aswan as well. And they pet them. They have them in their backyards, like in a jail, in a jail, yeah, in a cage, not jail, in a cage. Well, for them, it's most likely that it's a jail. And I had the opportunity to connect with a female crocodile, and was a huge connection. Maybe not the kind of frequency of yeah, I love you, you know, like a hug, a bear hug, but it was more like this. It is what it is, and I'm here, and I'm you, and you are I, and yeah, it was beautiful. So, and here there are many codes that we will be exploring, very peculiar from this temple. It also has like this Nile, and I say in between quotes, hyphen, this Nile aqueduct, which before was something else. It's like this well with the stairs going in a spiral. But that's just one thing. We will be covering the the whole temple, and it has portals like every temple. But these are quite connected to even to Draco as the eye, and as to Thuban, which is a star in Draco, and the Grand Pyramid is also connected to Thuban. At that time, we could consider them as the North Star.
Is this someone where they would do the mystery school, or they send the people underwater where the crypto and they overcome their fear?
Yes.
Yeah, that's badass. And you know, when you're in the direction of Draco, it used to be something bigger, and it's not just for the Draco Empire. So there's more to it, and dragon and other things. There's other crocodiles aren't necessarily fully connected to the Draco. So yeah, there's some crocodile goddesses and gods, Nile. So there's a lot you can do to overcome fear, and they're overpowered in various off technologies. So if you get them to like you and not ever want to hurt you, that will be powerful for protecting yourself against the dark. I do read it is highly sacral. I believe I was there at one point, and if I'm remembering correctly, it had like a bunch of things going on in the temple besides the crocodile stuff, and it had, I think, one of it's something called, it's like Cleopatra's bath, and interesting designs to it.
No, that's Dendera. That's Dendera.
I didn't think Cleopatra's bath was there. It was, but bath-like things. So I'm reading it neutrally from what I'm reading has to do with the sacral. So it looks like it had multiple esque oriented technology in healing the sacral purpose. In evolution of DNA and the chromosomes, especially dream, sexual, and attracting love. So a lot to the divine feminine. It has over 49 feminine abilities and upgrades and generators you can earn from it. The creation, oh, this was a big one. I did not even, this was an ability until I just read it, which is cool. So you can you can earn the ability to create your own armies. When I say create your own army, like making energy constructs like golems on their own, kind of have you extension of your own spirit puppeting it. You could eventually lead that to where you could do that physically, but with it, it's mostly for the unseen, and so you can make big ass armies from yourself. It also goes into amplifying and purifying force wellspring. So if you've ever met anybody that's like overly sensitive emotion, high, and like a tantra and kundalini and other they can have orgasms without touching themselves or having sex, and they just start like moaning out of nowhere. That and that like in bliss and ecstasy. So that has to do with this type of ability, which is your source wellspring, which is the of what an orgasm is, where you build up a large amount of different type of creational and sexual and kundalini energy, and allows for the safeness of the source to come in the center of that and erupt and upwell and then shoot up and down the spine in to Berkeley current type of electricity that lightens up the brain and can act many different ways, including life extension and sacred sexuality and Oldman and in constant bliss, to where like some people get really good at it, to where they feel like they're having orgasm time if they keep it alive and going, because there's a lot of different factors that want to prevent that or from it or whatever. So if you can maintain it really strongly, so this does upgrades for that. So maybe people will have orgasms spontaneously if they go. Prepare for that, I guess. It can grant a bunch of generators. It seems to have an infinite capacity to grant generators for the motion of harmony, which is powerful. It also grants the ability of pleasure control. So if you're interested in flaring up your sexuality and sexual, life, your sex life, then that will help your ability to amplify pleasure in yourself. It can upgrade your yin. It's kind of like a magnetic field sucking black hole type of thing. That allows you to track chi and energy from the environment. It's when Dan Winter goes into how bliss works in attracting energy to you. That's what it would do and amplify. Okay, what else there? Oh yeah, there's a bunch of gods connection to it, like at least 5. And it grants you the ability to make a fortress out of positive emotions, which is pretty impressive, and that's hard to maintain and make that strong. Yeah. So that's what I got for that. And can you do Esna Temple next?
Yeah.
But did anyone have any questions on that one? Crocodile and orgasm.
Well, it's quite interesting and fun. And you know that there is a huge relation in between the Isis priestess and the crocodiles. Yeah, so definitely makes sense that now the energy is compensating in that manner, because there was a lot of exchange in codes from the Isis cult priestess to the Komombo one. And a very interesting fact is that most of the temples are aligned to Draco, but not a different frequency of Draco. And by this I mean Thuban, which is at that moment was the northern star. So that's why they were aligned to that. So it's like now Polaris, but in that moment it was Thuban. So yeah, like Dendera as well. But as Shan says, well, be prepared. So then not only bringing a notebook, it's enough. Maybe just being aware that they might be that we will be having these sudden orgasms. Maybe not only in this temple, because actually that was one of the most powerful tools not only in the Egyptian civilization, in all the ancient civilizations, they knew the power of the vital force. So beautiful.